I think from day one I just loved the job. Coming from a farming background, I think it was always in me to want to care and to give. And it was reinforced by being at school and hearing the stories about the district nurse had delivered this wee baby, about the 9th or 10th child in my colleague, my fellow pupil's life. And you know, we didn't have a cot. Do you know what she did? She took a drawer and she put the bairn in the drawer, and I had this picture of this heroine. And it never left me. And I got to know her as I grew older, and she was a heroine.
Well, when I started, I was a district nurse midwife, which I always felt was a great help, because if you were going into a new baby, odds on you'd been to the granny or the auntie or something, and vice versa. So you were accepted right away. And I also found they used to test you. Mm-hmm. They would tell you something and then it would become general knowledge. And you would say, I never told anyone. Oh, we know you didn't. We were just seeing that you didn't. So they do test you to see if you are confidential.
You were respected, and you gave as much respect as they gave you. And eventually we went from walking and on the bus to then my bike and then a car. And the number of people that used to let you out because you had your hat on and knew immediately who you were. And then came the trousers and the tunics and no hat, nobody cared, wouldn't let you out. I felt we didn't have the same respect, but we just loved every minute.
We were delighted to be part of the change because the uniform was changing, but the older nurses hated it. They didn't want to wear it, and they thought it was such a waste of money because they were used to their old trench coats and storm caps. And we embraced the change and liked it. But I remember we had actually a kind of fashion parade where our nursing officer came, and we had to get dressed up. The younger ones among us got dressed up in the new uniform, and we were asked the rest of them, and one of the nurses said, I am certainly never changing. Until the time she retired, she never changed because she felt that she wanted to wear out her old trench coat and old storm cap hat. So that was good. She never embraced the change really, and we did. It was really good.
I think the district nursing role has changed from when we worked independently on our own and were completely in charge to having to lead a team, which is a great skill that needs to be learned because we work in such close proximity with the members of our team, but you are still the one that sets the example and leads the team. And there's a lot of people coming into the profession now for varying reasons. So I think it is trying to support them. There is nothing like community nursing.
The hat, yes. Like you said, nowadays you're out in the community with what you wear, and you're definitely not as distinctive as we were. But why I went into district nursing, I think, is when you're in hospital, you focus on the one area that you specialise in, whether it's thoracic medicine, gynae or what. When you come out into the community, you have to have a broad scale of knowledge to use, because each house you go into, you do not know what you're going to encounter. And working in a group practice, I think, is good because you know families from babies to mothers to grannies, and that helps you set up a picture. And as said before, you must always remember you are a guest in a patient's house. It is not your right to enter without their permission, and that should always be remembered. And they always look to you, and you're still doing what we did, because I read in the magazine something about what they were teaching, and I thought, it hasn't changed a bit. It hasn't changed a bit.
I could say to you the reason I retired was to let all the young people in, but it wasn't. There was a mirror in Leith CCT in the lift, and I went, that face is far too old to work. So that is why I retired.
You did your best. We just loved it. We hated to retire, but we had to. And I'm glad to see there's so many wonderful young ladies coming along who are going to take the mantle forward.